What's going on, guys? TacTixHD here, finally bringing you a new Cup or Bust video. Haven't done one of these in almost a year. The last one was the Seattle Cup or Bust. Basically, I just did too many of them, wanted a break, but this is going to be one more, I guess, before NHL 21 comes out. Trying something new, a fantasy draft Cup or Bust. Now, for this, I'm going to be using the Detroit Red Wings, my favorite team. Of course, too, with a fantasy draft, doesn't really matter. Now, speaking of Detroit, on the Seattle episode, I said that the top-rated comment will be the punishment if we're unable to win a cup. And spoiler alert, it's been 11 months. We did not win a cup with Seattle. And Bulldog20 Elite said, punishment, go to a Red Wings game and cheer for the Penguins. And I actually did that a few months later, as you guys can see in this clip here. So if you guys are following me on Instagram or Twitter, you can see the links on screen right now. You'd have already saw that clip, but if not, there you go. I came through with my promise. So again, if we're unable to win a cup here, I'll let the top-rated comment be the punishment. I think it'd be kind of cool with something maybe related to NHL 21, but you know, let your imagination run wild. As long as it's not something, you know, too crazy like bodily harm or telling me to delete the channel, you know, something within reason, and I'll make that happen. But if we win the Stanley Cup, obviously, it is not going to matter. Now, for this too, we're being the Red Wings, but it doesn't really matter what our rating is or any other team, as fantasy drafts on. Owner mode will be turned off. I'm going to leave salary cap on, and I'm actually going to try and stay within the salary cap for this fantasy draft, as I'm pretty sure that the computers usually do that, so it'll make it a bit more fair. Computer trades obviously are going to be on, but I don't really like morale, so I'll have that off. Same with the fog of war. Now, we actually do have to change some settings here with the fantasy draft to make it fair. We have to go and make sure that all the draft picks, cap penalties, and everything are basically reset. So most authentic settings for this, you can see game style there, 4-4 full sim. Injuries turned off, period length 20 minutes. So authentic cap penalties are turned off. Otherwise, you know, some teams will be kind of getting screwed here. Difficulty superstar, draft pick ownership classic. That way everyone has their picks. Trade difficulty there set to hard. I think medium is the most realistic, but honestly, I just kind of like the challenge of having it on hard. Also, too, I gotta make sure that the sim engine is set to high scoring. I think that's a bit more realistic, honestly, than medium. Also, to you guys, as always, we have our own set of Cup or Bust rules. The first one, of course, unlimited free agent signing, just to have more fun in the summer. Max 5 trades per year, but CPU offers are a bonus. Cannot trade picks past 2022, as we're not gonna be, you know, in that season. And then finally, we have to keep at least 3 picks per draft, just to keep it realistic. Also, New York there is picking first overall, just like the 2020 draft, so they'll get McDavid. Now, the Jets will probably take either McKinnon, Kucherov, or Draisaitl. So I think we're going to keep with number 3 here. I like it. Obviously, 2, we have to wait for, you know, the second round pick, but we get a pretty early third rounder. So this could be a good spot for us. I don't think it was McDavid, McKinnon, 1 and 2. That makes a lot of sense. So, like I said, I'm going to try to keep within the salary caps. I'm pretty sure the computers do as well, just to keep it realistic. So Crosby, I think Draisaitl's the pick here. In terms of age, potential, everything, it's either him or Kucherov. Draisaitl's 3 years younger, makes $1 million less. So, honestly, I think this is the first fantasy draft in NHL 20 where I've done with 0 restrictions. I'm always, you know, got some challenge to make it tough or whatever. So I feel like this is going to be the first time where I have a really stacked team. And we have 3 years to actually, you know, try and win this Stanley Cup. So, should be a lot of fun. Also, too, I think I only ever do, like, the first 20 picks. This time, we can do as many picks as we want. So, trying to pick not only for, you know, the first year, which is usually all we do, worry about that first year. We're taking guys like Joe Thornton, Zdeno Chara, etc. But also trying to have some longevity here. So, Ovechkin, I mean, he'll be good for 3 years. The thing is, I could maybe get him in the 3rd round. Actually, no, he'll be gone by the 3rd round. I usually take him late first. So, maybe Ovi is the pick here. Him and Draisaitl could potentially just carry this team. Goaltending wise, I think we can get like a good high 80 kind of guy, 4th or 5th round. It looks like defense is actually not going to be the greatest, but maybe just because of where we're picking, we're going to go defense by committee. I think Ovi, Draisaitl, I got to go with the 2 of them. Like, that's just too deadly of a combo there. 2, actually, our next pick's going to be an early 3rd. So, yeah, I'm not going to take a goalie here. I'm going to wait until at least 5th or 6th round. We definitely do need a defenseman. I kind of like Dougie Hamilton here. I've seen him get up to a 90 after the first year. That actually happened. I'm trying to remember the last week where that happened. I think it was actually the Seattle Kraken video. He was up to a 90. So, you know, he's a 2 overall below Burns, better contract. Weber and Giordano are older there. 1 below Ekman Larson. But again, he's got that high elite potential. If he plays well, which I'm kind of banking on him playing well, I think that's a really good pick for us there in the 3rd round. So 4th round is a late round. Again, I don't know. I think I want like a sick first forward line and then a sick top D pair, and then maybe round 6 we go with the goalie. So PK Subban 9 mil, Yandel, Bufflin. Bufflin's only got 1 year left. Yandel and Hamilton would actually be like a pretty solid offensive top pair. Is Yandel too early here? I mean, he's only 33. I know it's for the Spin Chicklets. They're going to love it. Giordano also, he's got elite potential. The thing is, we could probably grab him a couple of rounds from now. I mean, you know what, too? I just realized we're only looking at rating. I could be looking at this, too, potential. Yeah, because I keep forgetting, like, that's a big thing, too. Hampus Lindholm, 25, 85 medium elite. He could definitely grow 87, 88. Could have him and Hamilton. Ryan Merkley still there. Cole Caulfield. Yeah, so we gotta be looking at guys like this too. There's actually only 5 medium elites still left. I'm gonna go Hampus Lindholm here, and then I'm thinking another first line forward with a round 5 pick, and then like I said, round 6 get our goalie. Basically fill out the starting lineup with the top 6 picks. I think that makes the most sense. JT Miller's not a bad pick at all. Okay, Cole Caulfield. He gets really good. Matt Dumba's still there too. As you can see here, Yandel's still available, so definitely glad he took Lindholm with the last pick. I'm thinking JT Miller's the pick here. Him, Draisaitl, Ovechkin can be a nasty first line. Also, too, locked up at 5.25 for the next 4 years. Good contract. I'm hoping with our next pick, I want to say might say screw it. If Caulfield's available, we got to go for Caulfield. That's just too much trade value, essentially, to give up. We could flip him for whatever goalie we'd otherwise pick. So hopefully he's still here. He's not. But Ryan Merkley is, and Ryan Merkley gets good. So we still get a ton of value here with the Ryan Merkley pick. Again, literally could flip him for a starting goaltender if we're unable to get a good one in the 7th round. I'm surprised actually just how many of those guys are gone, but we only have 3 years, so we definitely could have just been focusing solely on prospects with our early picks, which a bunch of teams must have been taking some prospects. Got Chenyuk, 25, 82 medium leads. Again, I think we can probably wait a little bit on him. Hayden Fleury, Middlestat, Wenberg. I don't really know when these guys are going to go. Dennis Sanko, 1975, high top 6. I mean, that's a pretty good pick, honestly, there. I want to take a look at the goalies here. If there's no one that stands out, I think I'm definitely going to go with him. Thatcher Demko, Spencer Knight. Wouldn't mind getting both those guys for sure. Lundqvist, Rene. Okay, so maybe the strategy is to get a guy like Demko, and then Lundqvist or Rene can be our starter for the first year. So, yeah, right now I'm going to take Dennis Sanko, I think. Again, in terms of trade value, like, we can just flip him for kind of whatever we need. Especially, you know, if we do have holes. I think we have a very, very solid starting lineup, so I like that round 7 pick. Again, it's a different strategy. Like, I'm usually only waiting about a year, but with this cup or bust, obviously, it was 3 years. Kelly Yamamoto just went. Keith, 5.5 or 4. He should still be decent at the end of this. Chara can definitely wait on him. Ooh, okay, so this is where it's going to kind of get interesting. I'm wondering, do we take, like, Thatcher Demko? I mean, he's kind of we saw how good he is in the playoffs. He's gone. Okay. Spencer Knight probably has the most value left of anybody. So, Spencer Knight, I'm going to take there for value. So, we got him and Merkley to work with. Knight could even be, I don't know, it depends how he grows. He could definitely be a backup by the 3rd season, Ottawa starter. Definitely more trade value on him. So, we still have $44.5 million in cap space. Char would be really good in that regard. We have 4 forwards at this point. In terms of value, I feel like Joel Eriksson Ek is a good pick here. 22 years old, 78 overall, medium top 6. Again, it's so weird we're not doing like just a 1-year sim. It definitely kind of affects, like, as you can see, Yamamoto just went. So yeah, and then Tolvanen went there. Chara, okay, Keith's gone. I like these low elites. Like, if we give them playtime, they usually grow. So maybe we should go heavy on the low elites. Unless there's some high 70 medium top 6s. I mean, there's tons of, like, yeah, there's so many low 70s. Newhook's usually 6, so Newhook's a guy we have to keep on the radar, but don't need to take him right now, I don't think. There's so many veterans we can kind of fill in for the first couple years. Again, such a different strategy here, I'm not exactly sure what to do. I like Hayden Fleury. He can grow for you if he's playing, you know, the right minutes, does well, so hopefully that's a good pick. Like, looking at what everyone else is doing, I think it's not bad. I probably should go, like, prospect, veteran, back and forth. Because in terms of cap space, like, yeah, Parise, Skinner, they're tough to take. Kreider, Palat, I mean, those aren't terrible contracts. Kovalchuk's actually kind of nasty. For 350K, we are trying to stay within it. That might be a really good pick. Same with guys like Joe Thornton. Even Dzingel there is not too bad. So you know what, guys? I am going to take Kovalchuk here. I think that's a little early on him, but because I'm trying to stay under the cap, I think, like, you can't really do better than a 3. He literally has less than the minimum, so you can't beat that. As you can see there, a bunch of just medium top 6, high 70s are going. So I'm trying to see, like, what the computers are doing, base my picks off of that. Puljujarvi and Wenberg still available. Wenberg's a little expensive, but Second line center, he would actually have a lot of potential to grow. Gurianov, you know, he could grow. Sam Puljujarvi. I'm going to go Wenberg here. It's a bit of money, but we can trade him and hopefully he grows. I just realized we haven't taken a goalie yet, so we're definitely going to have to go with one of the veterans, but that's okay. I think they should still be available for a little bit, and if not, can always trade for a goalie. We do have 5 trades per year. Kudobin, Smith, yeah, we're probably going to have to trade for a goalie here. But I think, like, that was the better play, because we could probably get a goalie plus, like, a veteran goalie plus a first-round pick back in exchange for Spencer Knight. So Chara I'd actually really like too. Just basically trying to think when he'd go. I think we still have a bit more time on him, so maybe now's the time to take, you know, Puljujarvi, Gurianov. I think they're, you know, third line roles, get them growing. Hopefully good picks here, hopefully good value picks. I think, you know, they're both the same as a medium top 6. Higher risk, higher reward, which I'm always down for, you know. Go big or go home. Gurianov just got taken actually, so I think Puljujarvi was a nice pick. Bjork there, 23.78. Not too bad. Hosang. I actually should check if Newhook's still here. He might be gone at this point. Newhook's gone, but there's a ton of medium top 6 guys left, so you can focus on the NHL roster more here. I really do like Chara. Only thing is, he's probably like a 1-year kind of player. Williams, 700K. Again, like if I want to like basically stay within the 82 million. I think that'd make it more fair. That's actually huge in terms of just filling out our team. So we probably could have got him later, but again, just because of how cheap he is. Chara I like here too. I think I'm going to take Chara. I don't know what the other teams are doing. I like Chara here, so definitely, you know, we're going to have, I think like those really bad contracts can be available later, but I don't want to take them and then miss out on, say, a better guy because I want to stay within that $82 million cap. Although we only have to stay, I think, within the 82 million for the 20 players, because after that point, I mean, you just, or I guess, I don't know, you're probably burying guys, right? James Neal, it's a bad contract. It's going to be tough to move. Thornton, though, that's not too bad. Defense, we're at 5. 4 of them, though, are NHL defensemen, so we still need 2 more guys. Because I'm thinking Joe Thornton here as well. Cheap, 83. He stays with the team. He probably re-signs cheap. Let's go Joe Thornton there. This is definitely, I don't know, the strategy I'm using here. Again, I haven't done one for, you know, focusing on more than a year and actually trying to stay within the cap at all this year. So it's definitely a weird strategy. Goaltending-wise, we have to use one of our trades for a goalie. So I'm basically just waiting for a good backup. I mean, yeah, Jonathan Quick's contract kind of sucks. So same with Martin Jones. Mike Smith, 1 year, $2 million. Let's take him now before he's gone. Could probably be our backup. We're going to have to trade for a starter for sure. Hopefully some team, for some reason, drafted 2 starting goalies. And kind of we can exploit that if they put one of them on the block. Mike Green here, 1 year left, $2.6 million. I think that's actually another decent pick, especially considering the salary. I feel like, you know, free agency should still be pretty good. I'm sure because it's a fantasy draft. You know, a lot of guys that normally the team can't afford to re-sign, now they're getting re-signed. So it might not be as good, but still not terrible. So we're actually at 5 defensemen. How many forwards do we have? I know a lot of those are prospects. I'm going to take Jay Bouwmeester here. And I think that's a decent contract. That gives us 6 NHL defensemen. Now we can just work on filling out the forwards and the prospects. Alexiev just got taken. Medium top 4D potential, which is pretty solid. I want to actually look at potential now. Yeah, Jeremy Bracco's still there. McLeod's not bad. Like 2070 overall, medium top 6. Like there's still some good players here for sure. If I remember right too, McLeod usually gets up to like an 85, so I think he's actually a really solid pick for us here. Again, trying to get a good mix of like, you know, NHL ready players plus prospects. Now having said that, guys, we only do have 3 years to win the Stanley Cup, so still want to try and make, you know, the most competitive team out the gate I can. And I think I saw we still need 3 more NHL players, so I'm thinking for Leak, 1 year at $4.3 million, we can definitely afford it. And he'll be a 3rd or 4th liner for us, so not too bad. If we're, you know, not in a playoff spot, the deadline could definitely trade him. With a fantasy draft, though, it's always usually like really close. Who knows really how we'll do. And I'm looking at defensive prospects right now, guys, and there's actually a ton of really good ones still available. Cal Foote, Olli Juolevi, I'm going to try and get here with the next 2 picks. Foote I'm going to take because he's 1 year younger, but both those guys have like pretty solid trade value. Like we were taking guys probably with pretty similar trade value 5 or 6 rounds ago, so I'm surprised they're still available. Juolevi's still there too. Like this, we're getting such good value here. I think we need like 2 more NHL forwards and that's it. I could care less how the AHL team does, like as long as whoever's playing there grows. A low top 4D from Vancouver. I'm guessing a bunch of teams probably just realized, whoa, there's a bunch of solid defensive prospects available. There's still 2 more. Belpedio, 23 and 71. I don't know. He's a weird prospect because he's got medium top 4. I don't know. Schmaltz is 2 years older. It's 7 overall higher. He does have 4 years to grow with the medium top 4. Let's check forwards here, see if there's any more medium top 6s. Really nothing too great. Garish is like the same thing. Sorella 2271, low top 6. If he plays well, it's actually not terrible. Let's do that. I think, if he gets ice time in the AHL, he might grow a little bit. And looking at goalies here, guys, there's actually a ton of backups still available. I'm thinking Brian Elliott's who I'm going to go with. 34.81, 1 year left, $2 million. Martin Jones has too bad of a contract there to justify the extra 1 overall, and then Elliott's the best contract, excluding Miller, who's 39. So I feel like Miller could get worse during the season. So I think Elliott here is a safer pick. Him and Smith as our 2 goalies. I'm not super confident in, but again, goalies sometimes in this game doesn't matter too much. If you guys saw my one video, I had Tampa Bay win the Stanley Cup with a shooter in net, so really you never know. We still do need actually a couple more NHL forwards. We have $18 million in cap space. Alex Steen, 5.75 for 2 years. Carter can grow in rating. The only thing is the $5 million for 3 years. It's a big risk. He's got a good shot. He might be able to fit, honestly, into our top 6. We have cap space. Like, I made sure the way we drafted, we have that cap space. And if he's got 3 years left, so it's not his bad contract to say James Neal. He's making a bit less money. Okay, I think Spezza will get for our 4th line center, and I'm going to take either Carter or Steen for the next pick. One of them, obviously, is a pretty big cap hit, but I don't think it's terrible, especially we actually had a lot more cap space than I expected. We could have taken on some worse contracts, as it turns out. And like I said, I think Carter shows exact top 6. I want to say he has high top 6, so if you actually have him play a good season, then he will grow for you. So I'll take him there. I feel like round 27 for him, it's pretty good value. So next here, we don't need the defenseman. Coburn, yeah, I think I'd rather Hayden Fleury play in the NHL, try and get him to grow. Steen, he could replace one of the 78s we have. Just kind of give us some depth. 2 years there at 5.75. Patrick Maroon's not too bad either. 80 overall, 900K. I feel like he's the perfect 4th line forward. Plus, if we have like an extra NHL player, we could literally just flip them for a pick. I'm sure a team would do it. But I'm thinking, like, we have, Puljujarvi, who could probably just play 1st line AHL, maybe grow. Same goes for Eric Sinek. I think I saw Patrick Marleau was available too. And I take him as well, just because with that contract, just such an easy player, I think, to flip. Free 3rd round pick. I know we only have 5 trades, but we should be okay. Now, there's 32 picks in total. I think this is the first time I've ever shown all 32 picks, so hopefully, not too boring here. Jordan Schmaltz still available, 25.78. If we can get him a good contract, he'd probably be like a bottom pair guy for us. I like, just the players with good contracts or whatever. So I think this is our 2nd last pick. I'm still debating Steen. 5.75. Like, we have the money, 2 years. Could definitely flip it after the 1st year. The Nealok posts are too long. We're gonna take Alexander Steen. Like I said, let's fill this lineup out. Give us a chance at Stanley Cup 1st year. Even just give us a chance, kind of more chemistry options. And then the last pick for us here, I think it's the 3rd last pick in the draft. Maybe go for a goalie. Definitely not one of those guys. Stoller's 25.75. I guess he would give us like a decent AHL goalie. Or even if we just want the AHL team to be good, could throw a guy like Ryan Miller as the AHL starter. Or even Mike Hutchinson, 700K, 80 overall. Yeah, let's go Mike Hutchinson here, our last pick in the draft. So there you go, guys. I think we've built a pretty solid team with this fantasy draft. Obviously, focusing on winning now, but also 2nd and 3rd year. If you look at that starting lineup there, Draisaitl, Ovi, Hamilton, Lindholm, Miller. The goaltending, we definitely waited. Yeah, Smith, we picked number 500 essentially, 499. But we have a lot of options here, I think, for trades. Looking throughout the lineup, I think it's pretty solid. So we're in the franchise mode, guys, and I just finished editing the lines. As you can see there, team stats is champion. Honestly, I think we have a decent shot at this 1st season. Ovechkin, Draisaitl, Miller, our top line there, getting +3, which is huge. Now, I actually did change Draisaitl from a sniper to a playmaker, but McDavid said he's one of the best playmakers he's ever seen, so I feel like that's a fair change. And I think, those guys getting +3, it makes Ovi a 95, Draisaitl 95. They're going to go off. You got Carter, Wenberg, and Kovalchuk on the 2nd line. This is the 2nd line I think could definitely grow. Wenberg, low elite. Carter, I've seen him grow before too, so kind of a 2nd line with something to prove. Steen, Thornton, and Frolik, I think it's a pretty solid 3rd. And then Williams, Spezza, Maroon on the 4th, also not too bad. All those lines also getting a +1. We got Lindholm and Hamilton as the top pair, which I think is pretty good. We got Green and Chara second pair, Fleury, Bouwmeester there on the bottom. Goaltending is definitely the weak spot on this team. Not sure why Elliott was starting. Smith started there. Elliott backing him up. Scratch right now is Patrick Marleau. I'm actually going to try and look for a trade for him. He's 40, so he's probably about to retire. And I feel like Maroon just fits the fourth line better. He's a power forward. Brings some size, brings some grit. And taking a look at our special teams next year, guys. The first unit's pretty stacked. You got Kovalchuk, Draisaitl, Miller, Hamilton, Ovechkin, getting a +1. Obviously, Ovi's in his office. Kovalchuk's also a really good sniper. Even though he's 83, his shot there, all 90+. Even the second unit there is not too bad, getting a +1. A lot of playmakers, though, especially like Thornton and Wenberg. Carter and Green, though, pretty good shots from the point. The 4-man power play is only getting a 0. Same with the PK. The second actually getting a -1. The 3-man penalty kill is tough. The first one there is getting a -3. I've tried every forward here. It's just not working. So I figured Draisaitl's the highest rated, so it just makes the most sense to play him with the best defenseman. Then Miller there actually helped it out. I was getting a -3 forever. He actually got up to a -1. For some reason, this team, 3-man penalty kill, isn't really working for the chemistry. AHL team, I'll show you guys quick. We got Dennis Sanko, Eriksson, Puljujärvi, so hopefully they all grow playing first line. McLeod and Sorella on the second line. Defense, you got Julevi, Schmaltz. Foot's getting a +3 there, bottom pair. We got Hutchinson and Knight in net. So AHL team, I think the rest of the players are literally just like auto-filled in guys, so who cares about them. But again, I am pretty excited for this team. I think we can do some damage because all the other teams too are built pretty similarly. They got some good NHL players, some prospects. Draisaitl there in the C, Ovi, Hamilton, the 2 A's. I think those are just our top 3 picks. And as you can see, their team ratings aren't too bad. 93 offense, 89 defense, 83 goaltending. So what my plan is basically is to run with Smith and Elliott as our 2 goalies. But if I see we're not playing as good as I think this team is capable of, I'll definitely make a goalie trade. But for now, I kind of just am curious to see how the team we drafted is going to do. We just got a pretty big trade up here, guys, from the Nashville Predators. Nate Schmidt for a 1st and 3rd round pick. Thing is, like, I don't know, Schmidt's making almost $6 million, 6 years left. He's 83 overall. I think that first round is going to have more value than him. As you can see, we're not doing too bad. We're 12, 9, and 2 now. We're in a wild card spot. We were 2nd in the division, I think, at one point, but it's very, very close. I just stopped talking, like 4-game losing streak. Buffalo and the Islanders, 1st and 2nd round pick going to Nashville. Wow. Okay. And speaking of December now, guys, honestly, 14, 12, and 4. We're in a wild card spot. I think we should be higher than that. Like, Senators, I want to see who the best team is and compare our team to see where we should be. Senators 38, Capitals 42, Flames 40, Wild 36. Okay, so let's look at the Capitals team and see how we compare. And if they're about as equal to us, then I think definitely we should make a trade for a goalie because it's kind of got to be what's holding us back. Sagan, Tays, pretty solid 1-2. Radulov, Heiskin, basically this is Dallas. TJ Oshie, Letty, Granlund. Okay, so yeah, like they got a ton of 70s. What is going on? Are they going to have a sick goalie? Marc-Andre Fleury, who's not too bad. So yeah, I think we got to get a goalie because our team's better than them on paper. So like I was saying, guys, I want to improve our goaltending. I see that St. Louis has Grice on the block. I forget who the other goalie is. I think it's Freddie Anderson. 33 years old, 84 overall. Obviously playing really well for Islanders real life. 5 wins, 8 games here, .904. Better than both our goalies. Elliott, you can see he's got .881, 3.5 against. Let me see. Smith's numbers weren't much better. He's got a .884, 3.28. 1 shutout, slightly better record. Offering them a 2nd this year, 5th next year. I'm thinking 2nds next year would be more valuable because you could possibly get like an RFA or something with an offer sheet. Value's pretty equal, and he's on the block. Honestly, it's even a bit on our side. I could probably get away with like a 2nd and a 7th here. I don't want to be too greedy, but I mean, we only have 7 picks. Everyone, is in an equal playing field. Might as well see if they take this first. Trades rejected. Okay, so maybe they probably saw me like, take that 7th off the board. Let's try 2nd and a 5th. Trade still rejected. So I'm not trying to offer them Elliott. 2nd rounder this year, Schmaltz. 4th this year for Grice. See what they say. Actually, let's make that a 4th in 2022. I think we'll have more picks by then. And I feel like the 2020 draft's the best one by far. Wow, quite far off. We need a goalie. Like we have 3 years. Screw it. Please say yes. There we go. I feel like that's probably a bit too much, but whatever. And right now, guys, I'm kind of making a risky trade. I'm offering Anaheim a 1st-round pick, 2022. We're not drafting that year, but that's like the latest pick we're allowed to trade. For Matthew Boldy, for some reason they have on the block. 3 years left, entry-level deal, so he'll be cheap the entire time. 18 years old, 74 overall, creative player, so he'll shoot more. He's got pretty good stats. Usually he'll be like, I think up to an 84, honestly, by year 3 if he grows well. Basically, he's going to be better than that 1st-round pick. We could use that to, obviously make another trade and stuff. I think we can bring in NHL players via free agency. A prospect like him who's going to be NHL ready soon, not so much. I think it's a really good opportunity. We can't pass it up while he's on the block right now. And they say no to that. First in 2022, third in 2021, and a fifth this year. There we go. Again, hopefully that was the right move. And a pretty big trade just went down. Chris Kreider going to Pittsburgh in exchange for a couple second-round picks. Head to Buffalo. Also, guys, I'm looking at free agency right now. I'm not sure why I waited so long, but a ton of pretty good players didn't even get picked up. You got Bobby Ryan, Matthew Perreault, Paul Byron, Richard Panik, Kulikov, Piszczek. So, definitely going to sign these guys. Just going to send them down to the AHL, but, like, we have, what is it, $8 million in cap space. We have 19 contract spots. Even a guy here like Lafferty, 24.76, high top 9. He's playing top 6 on our AHL team, and maybe we can even flip him for, like, a late pick, you know? The rest of these guys, they're pretty much not going to be really worth too much. 23s, mid-60s. But, like, a guy like Chason, he's actually got 4 teams interested right now, so I'm not even going to bother. But Bobby Ryan, Matthew Perreault, I'm thinking just make the AHL team sick and maybe even just trade them at the deadline, honestly. 1.3 million, make them that offer. Same with Perreault. Like, we have the cap space. I mean, might as well, you know, take advantage of it. Chatfield here, 23.68 with medium top 60. Honestly, isn't the worst ever. Joel Person, though, 25.78. Again, just help out the AHL team. If he grows at all, we just flip him. One thing I noticed, because of the fantasy draft, like, you don't have a lot of assets. Like, look at all these guys. High 70s in free agency. So, I should, you know what, honestly, I should have just left my bottom 6 forwards and just, or at least the 4th line, and just filled it out with all these, like, high 70s. Tyler Mott, 24.78. Like, pretty good, honestly, with potential. Miracle Mueller, I can't believe I waited so long. For some reason, I just thought, like, you know, decent players like this would be gone. Grimaldi, 26.78. We'll do 1 year there. Yannick Weber has no potential, but, like, those guys, all 2-way deals. Put them in the AHL. We could definitely flip them, at least for, like, a late pick. And I feel like with the fantasy draft, the thing you need most is picks, because everyone has their picks back. So, Andrew Ladd, Mark Stahl, tons of dudes. Didn't even get a contract. Also, guys, look at this. Martin Jones is in free agency, only asking for $1 million for 1 year. So he's actually younger than Brian Elliott, and he's 1 overall higher. So we could have had him without using a pick, but obviously I didn't know he's still going to be available. So Matthew Perreault, you can see, accepted our offer, and they've already got him on the Griffins. Again, I think we're just stacking this Griffins team. Hopefully, yeah, they got Bobby Ryan, Martin Jones, Person there, Grimaldi. So give us more options too in terms of trades. We can call some of these guys up if we need to. Sam Moore in there. One thing too, I think with the fantasy draft is, like, you're lacking assets, right? Not even only draft picks, but players. We're now at what, 40, 50 contracts. We actually have some players now, which is pretty awesome. So after those signings, guys, our AHL team's kind of sick now. I actually kept the top 6 forwards the same, as the first line's playing well, and I want those guys to grow. Second line's getting a +3, but you got a third line now with Perreault, Lafferty, and Ryan. You got 280s. Grimaldi, Sorella, Mott, like 278s. Defense a lot better. You got Mueller and Person. So the AHL team should be competitive. Foot and Mooring and a +3 is huge. Lady Chatfield. So actually 2 Canucks prospects. Martin Jones the starter. Hutchinson backing him up. This should be probably the best AHL team in the league. Also, I'm thinking now we could actually even trade, say, Mike Smith at the deadline because he's older, he's 37. Then call up Jones to be the backup. Probably resign Jones to be the backup even next year just because he is so much cheaper. Or maybe he plays really well in AHL or has the backup role he could grow. I think he still has, you know, low league potential. So we'll see what happens now. Definitely have a lot more options. Should have done that earlier, but maybe doing it now is better because, like, you know, I only have to pay them half the year. AHL team, they're actually already in second, tied actually for first in their division. So hopefully they keep that up. Denisenko's killing it, 57-40. Now they're just going to be even better. Just got another big trade offer. Justin Schultz, a 3rd and a 4th for our 1st and 3rd. But again, 2021st are so good, so I'm just going to hold on to it. And Nyquist is going to Edmonton along with Stone for a 1st, 2nd round pick heading to LA. Pretty big trade. Islander just made me a big trade offer. Bufflin and 2/3 for Knight and a 1st. Not going to do that. That's a lot to give up there for a rental potentially, but maybe we can get Bufflin for a different price, maybe at 50% or something. Blackhawks just fired their head coach. So we're 2 weeks away now from the deadline. We're playing a lot better. Kind of funny, actually, real quick. Gustin Little for a 1st and a 2nd going to Vegas. It's a pretty big ad. As you can see, we're killing it. 33, 21, and 5. Dallas now trades some picks to Edmonton for Krejci and Ruda. For some reason, after he signed all those AHL players, our NHL team started playing better. We didn't actually touch the NHL team at all, so I don't know how that worked out. Maybe they just saw me make all those signings and they started to worry about their jobs or something, and guys started playing better. But I'll show you guys. It was like mid-January we made all the signings. I think we went on like an 8-game win streak or something. It ended with that loss there, 3-1 to Philly. Erickson X definitely worth more to me than Ian Cole. So we're looking good. We're third in the division. Lightning and Maple Leafs ahead of us. So kind of true to real life, actually, even in a fantasy draft. Those are still the two top teams. Grew and a fourth to Vancouver. Winnipeg gets James Neal, Nick Holden. So let's see here. We can still make 2 trades. I want to see just how long that win streak was. 4, 5, 6. So 7-game win streak, sorry. After we made all those signings. But still pretty nuts. 36, 23, and 5 at the deadline. Ovechkin is having an unreal year. 85 points, 64 games. I'm pretty happy there with my second round pick taking Ovi. So again, you can make 2 trades. I'm thinking a good trade would be Elliott for like a third or second. Call up Jones. You know, take advantage of those guys we signed. Maybe even trade someone else for a pick, because right now I think picks are pretty important. See who's on the block and try and make something happen. So next, you guys can make a trade with the Washington Capitals for Justin Schultz, who's on the block. 1 year left at $5.5 million. I think we could probably re-sign him. He's a really solid offensive defenseman. We'll probably replace Mike Green after this year. Offering up Smith, he can be replaced by Jones, Williams, probably replaced by Bobby Ryan. Third in 2022, pretty equal value. Let's see what the Capitals say here. Trades rejected. Not even the right city. You can see they got a lot of good players on the block. Taze, Oshie, Letty, but it's hard to get these guys without, like, you know, giving up a big asset of ours. So next, you guys are trying to trade Mike Smith, Justin Williams, and a 4th rounder in 2021 for Nick Merkley. The Jets want all 3 of those things. Merkley's a pretty solid prospect. 22, 78, medium top 6. The value's pretty equal. Let's see what they say here. Trades rejected, isn't sufficient. I mean, Smith and Williams are both going to be replaced. I mean, I'm trying to think. Do we give up a third to make this happen? We could. Still rejected. I mean, I don't know how this is still getting rejected, to be honest. Third and a 4th with Williams and Smith. Wow. Try adding a 2022 5th here. So Smith, Williams, a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th for Merkley. There we go. Call up Jones. Basically, my idea here is to flip Merkley for Justin Schultz, as Washington or whoever had him wanted like a player like Merkley. So they didn't want all that extra stuff we were giving them, so we're basically just making it happen anyway. So like I was saying, guys, originally my idea was just to flip Merkley to Washington for Justin Schultz, but he's 22.78. McLeod's the same age, 7 overall lower. I feel like in this case I might as well trade McLeod. Like, it makes more sense. Let's see what Washington says. I think the value's pretty equal. And trades rejected. They do say swing the value just a touch. We're losing a lot of picks here. We are down to not too many. Lafferty we could just add on. It's like whatever. We got him for free. There we go. And after those 2 trades, guys, here's an updated look at the team. You can see we have Bobby Ryan now on the 4th line instead of Justin Williams, which is fine. Schultz and Fleury have actually got on the 2nd pair, getting a +1. Hopefully helps Fleury grow. I think we just have more depth now. Char Green on the bottom. Of course, Jones is now the backup. So the team still looks pretty solid. AHL team-wise, defense actually figured out a way to get more chemistry. You got Morin on the top pair there. Chatfield, Ulevi, then Mueller, Foot. So now the top and bottom both get +3. I think that first line AHL is the same, but second line no longer getting +3, but it's a lot better. Merkley and Perreault make it, you know, way better. So AHL team I think should still be competitive. Hutchinson's there, the starting goalie. So excited to see what happens with both these teams. Obviously, with a month and a half left here to the playoffs, so hopefully both teams play well. And so after the season here, guys, with a 45, 28, and 9 record. So we got 99 points, 1 shy there of 100, but not too bad, I think, for our first season as a fantasy draft team. Ovechkin there went off, 105 points, 82 games. Love to see that. I think he could honestly go up in rating this year. Who beat us? The Lightning and the Leafs, 103, 107. Looks like we were probably in the best division. Even in a fantasy draft, the top half of the Atlantic is still a powerhouse. Take a look at how everyone else did here. I think, too, I'll show you guys after our AHL team. It was first in their division. Draisaitl had 100 points. That's awesome. So he should get up, too, with the franchise potential. Miller, 88. Huge year for him playing on that top line. Carter at 60. Okay, 81. He's got to go up to like 82, 83. Kovalchuk there, not too bad. Ovi, 45 goals, I just noticed. Probably won't be enough for Maurice Richard, but not too bad. Spezza had 43. That's really surprising. I think he's 4th line center, but he's playing well. I think he had some power play time. Did better than Thornton, who's 3rd line. Wenberg was 2nd, so I mean, I guess all the centers, though, did pretty close. Thornton's -22 is a little bit rough. Dougie Hamilton, not too bad. Steen, I mean, I guess aside from that first line, it's basically just by committee. Ryan had 7 and 18 on the 4th line. It's not too bad at all. Taking a look at the goaltending here, I guess Jones hasn't played a single game since the deadline. That seems kind of strange. Maybe I have auto-rotate goalie off. I gotta go turn that back on if that's the case. Thomas Greiss, 54 games played, 32 and 16, .91 and 2.67. Pretty solid numbers for sure. And quick look at the AHL team here. Dennis Senka went off. Oh my god, 88 points, 73 games. I think he's probably making the NHL next year. Puljujarvi just under a point per game. That's huge for him. Boldy was over a point per game, so I'm definitely liking that trade. Eriksson Ek could have been better for sure. Julevi not too bad. Cal Foot not too bad. Definitely got some guys growing there. Spencer Knight only had 17 games played, but, you know, decent record in those games played. He's got good potential too, so it really shouldn't matter too much. And look at that. Crosby actually led the league in points. 106 in 82 games, playing for the Mighty Ducks, who almost had on there, one pick shy. Obi was second, so one shy of the Art Ross. Eichel also had 105. McDavid 104. Kucherov. Draisaitl. So we had 2 of the top 6. I mean, we knew that was going to be a deadly combo. Goudreau actually is with McDavid. That's pretty nuts. Malkin, Scheifele. 45 goals. Where did that put OV? Wow, so Sagan 54 goals. He's such a monster in the sim every single time. Defense, I'll take a look. Morrissey, 78 points. Might win the Norris. That's kind of nuts, honestly. And I see that Keith Yandel had 66 points, 82 games. You'll get his puck skills there, shooting. They're both solid, so maybe we should have picked him up, but what are you going to do? Can't have a perfect draft, I guess. So we finished 3rd in the Atlantic. I'm curious where we finished though the entire NHL, because like I said, Atlantic was good. And yeah, 3rd in the Atlantic, 5th in the NHL. I mean, come on. Only 4 teams with 100 plus points. Kind of surprising, honestly. Arizona, Colorado squeaks in as the 19th place team. And Chicago last place, 62 points. Makes sense, I guess, why they fired their coach. And we're actually first in the entire AHL right now. The Griffins, 101 points. It makes sense. Everyone else like just has less players and stuff because they didn't probably go and sign guys out of free agency for whatever reason. So good to see for sure. And I just checked, guys. Auto rotate goalies is on, so I'm not sure why they didn't start Jones once. Maybe just, you know, Grice has been hot, so they just keep rolling with him. But definitely kind of strange. So in the first round of playoffs, guys, we're up to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I feel like Leafs fans aren't going to like this 1-2 punch down the middle. Bergeron and Dubois. So the 2 first-line centers that eliminated them in the last 2 years. They got Paling there, 3rd-line center. Really, the bomb 6 isn't that great. A lot of younger guys with potential, but not the highest rated. Victor Hedman, those big. Jarmelson, Dunbar, Martinez. Wow, Brodin, Savard. This is a very good top 6. Goaltending, okay. Leonard is the goalie essentially. A lot of, you know, buzz that maybe he could go to Toronto. I don't really see it though. That's probably one of the best, honestly, defenses in this fantasy draft. But offense-wise, I don't know. It's lacking for me. I think a 76 4th-line center. We should be better than them, I think. Again, they had that good D, but I don't know. I like our team. They actually did do better than us in the regular season though, but we'll see what happens here in the playoffs. Hopefully that combo there of Obi and Draisaitl can kind of carry us. So first 2 games are in Toronto. Let's see what happens. 4-3 win, 7-6 OT win. So close games, both by a goal. Making it happen, though. Obviously, a good Original 6 rivalry here. 6-1 loss. That's at home. I mean, we got to at least get 1 win in here in Detroit. 4-2 win. Let's go. Just have to win 1 of the next 3 here. Moving on to semifinals. Let's go. 3-0 shutout. And in the second round, guys, we're with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we got to take out the 2 best teams in the league in the first 2 rounds. They got Marchand there, Henry, Hornqvist, Dadonov, Granlund, Gord. So they got a lot of depth here on forward, but no real superstar outside of Marchand. 80 plus though everywhere, a lot different than the Leafs. Defense, not quite as good. They do have a very solid top pair, Shabbat and Ellis. Myers, Hronek, Matta, Hutton. Obviously the fantasy draft, like there's going to be a lot of parity, a lot of solid teams. Kemper to Smith, like yeah, this is a solid team. Again, I can't believe both these teams though did so much better than us. Like I like our team better than them too, so we'll see what happens here. I mean, we got by Toronto in 5. Maybe we can get by Tampa Bay. That'd be pretty awesome, honestly. We won this in our first year. Maybe we could just go for the trifecta, 3 straight cups, triple crown. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself as we go 3-2, 3-2 losses to Tampa, but both of those were in Tampa. Let's go home and get a win. 3-2 OT win. 7-1 loss hurts. Come on, we gotta answer back. We're down 3-1. Let's pull a Cleveland here against Golden State. Oh, that sucks. Alright, I definitely got ahead of myself. So we beat Toronto in 5, lose to Tampa in 5, but for the first season, not too bad. And look at this, guys. Our AHL team was so dominant all year. Win the first 2 games of their playoff round, and then lose the next 3 straight. The last 2 weren't OT, but still, like, are you kidding me? And look at this, guys. Tampa Bay with the clean sweep. They win the Stanley Cup and the Calder Cup. That's unreal. So even in a fantasy draft, they are still just one of the best teams in the NHL. Right now, they're probably looking like the favorite to win it all. Are you kidding me? Buffalo jumps from 14-1. That's just, come on. Chicago there. At least they only dropped to 2 as the worst team. Like, I wish that was the case for Detroit. Dallas picks 4 with Edmonton's pick. I don't remember Dallas Edmonton making a big trade. Actually, no, I do remember that. Dallas made 2 trades. I'm trying to think which one that was. Edmonton there. Maybe they rehired Chiarelli because I don't know what's going on there. Drysdale had 10 points, 10 playoff games. It's not too bad. Take a look at the playoff tree here. So after Tampa beat us, Carolina in 6, St. Louis in 5. Okay, so St. Louis back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals. Next year, we'll take a look at the awards. So Tampa, Stanley Cup, President's Trophy, Prince of Wales, they did it all. Crosby, though, got the Art Ross. Ovi got the Hart. That's awesome, so we got some hardware. Morrissey did get the James Norris. Kucherov, Lady Bing, so they actually spread out all the trophies. Usually it's like one guy getting everything. Kubalik got the Calder, interesting. Kemper, Conn Smythe. Leonard got the Vezina. Also got the William Jennings. Dumoulin, Bill Masterton. Canucks coach there got the Jack Adams. Probably a tough one to give out with the fantasy team, so maybe they're like rebuild their team stats, are hopeful, and they still made the playoffs. O'Reilly still gets the Selke. Ovi also got Ted Lindsay. That's awesome. Sagan, Maurice Richard. So Ovi, they're respected on our team for some reason. He gets the Hart. He gets the Ted Lindsay. I'm surprised because he was like, what, third in scoring? But everyone's just saying he was the best player. I don't know. I don't know what made that happen, but I definitely appreciate it. AHL here. So, yeah, we won the regular season, but, I mean, we didn't do well in the playoffs at all. Denisenko had the most points in AHL. I forgot to check that. That's awesome to see. He also got the MVP, and he had the most goals, and he was the rookie player. So he's got the first 4 awards. Carlson, best D-man. You can't win that. He also can't win the goalie award. MVP would be pretty tough as a first-round knockout. He got sportsmanship, too. Didn't get community involvement. I was going to say, is he going for his 6th award? Nor can he get the lowest goals again. So, I mean, Denisenko had 5 awards. I think that's the most awards I've ever seen given to an AHL player. So, it's a pretty good sign. He's already a 77. I think he's going to be like an 80 at least by the start of next season. Boldy had 4 goals in 5 playoff games, which isn't too bad either. So, we'll get to the draft now. We still have our first-round pick. That's about it. So, we're definitely looking just for some steals, essentially, in later rounds. With a late first, though, in the 2019 draft, you can definitely get some solid players. I'm thinking a guy like Hendrik Lapierre. Sometimes Askarov actually drops to you with a late first. So, who knows, really? Where are we picking? Because we got, what, second-round exit 23? It's not too bad. And there's actually 3 made-up players here, pushing Byfield to 5 and Stutzla to 6. So, everyone's going to be going later. Drysdale, we know, grows quite a bit. Maybe we can make a play at him. Currently number 10. Lundell at 14 even. We know he's got elite potential. Where is Askarov? Because I haven't seen him yet. Alright, so I'm not seeing Askarov. I'm wondering if possibly because he's a created player, he was in the fantasy draft, which, I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. Everyone had a, fair chance at him or whatever. So, I like Drysdale at 10 a lot after seeing how well he grew in my LA. Could try and trade for the Flames. I'm thinking Dallas to be safe. I'm pretty sure he was like 87 after 1 year, which is just ridiculous. So they have 9. Drysdale's a 95 now. Are you kidding me? Ovi's a 94. And I somehow missed JT Miller's an 89. I'm only making $5.2 million for the next 4 years. So yeah, that top line is absolutely insane. And look at this, guys. Jeff Carter's now an 84. So we took a gamble on him and it worked out for sure. Because 81 making 5.2 is not too great, but 84 I think is definitely worth it. We are trying to move up here to 9. This is going to be tough. I'm going to try a second-round pick in 2022. I feel like that's not enough, though. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to say yes to this, guys. I'm going to try trading Nick Merkley here at the 23rd overall for the 9th overall. Here we go. Trades rejected. A bit off. Okay, I think, we have a chance. I'm going to try throwing Alex Steen on there. Trades accepted. Steen's basically just like a cap dump. Are you kidding me? Let's go. So we're at number 9 right now, guys. Ross just went at 8. Raymond 7. Stutzla 6. Byfield 5. 3 created players there. I hate that. Like, they don't need to be there. Like, this made-up dude's higher rated than Lafreniere, which is so dumb. He's got less potential, but still, like, I just don't like seeing that. So, I know from the LA Kings franchise mode, Drysdale, he gets sick. Perfetti also gets pretty good, honestly. But I think I took Raymond, and I think Perfetti was, like, 1 higher. Drysdale's probably the pick here. It's either him or Perfetti, but I'm pretty sure Drysdale grew the fastest of all of them, so I'm going to take him here and hope that happens for us, because I swear, he was like, after 1 season, 87 overall for the St. Louis Blues, so if that happens for us, we're laughing. Also, guys, I just noticed that there's this made-up guy, Jerry Meach, medium elite potential as well. We're supposed to go 13, so a little after Drysdale. I swear, if he's higher rated than Drysdale, I'm going to freak out. As I already added 3 80-plus medium elites, which went in the top 5. If you now have another one, like, there's already so... It's 80 overall medium elite. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, I guess that's my fault. I missed that. I was so focused on Drysdale, but come on. Get rid of these custom players, at least for the first year sim. And so I just simmed all the way to the 4th round here, guys. We didn't have a 2nd or 3rd round pick, unfortunately, but there is a gem who should still be available here. We're picking 116. 185. He's got low elite, so probably guaranteed. There's a starter goalie there we could take. 166. He should still be there. I'd probably rather take the gem right now more than the goalie. You never know. He could be... No, yeah, he's low elite, but not terrible. 178. See, the goalie's 166, but we only can make 5 trades. I don't think we can afford to make another trade here. Basically, with those rules, you kind of have to, you know, actually make trades that are going to matter, essentially. Dylan Robinson's guaranteed medium top 9. It's not terrible for, well, we have a 5th round pick. 52 overall, though, is pretty low. Or actually, though, the 6th round, so yeah, that's not too bad. Medium top 9 in the 6th round. You can definitely do worse than that. I still can't believe that 80 overall medium elite created guy. That's gonna bug me for sure, but what are you gonna do? This Russian, there's like 25% chance it's medium elite. Low top 6, 49 overall, but end of the 7th, that's actually a pretty good pick. And look at this, guys. We're at the re-sign phase now with $30 million in cap space, which is just ridiculous. We'll go through position by position. I think it's easier. Again, our top forward line's insane. Drysdale 95, OV 94, Miller 89, like just so good. So Kovalchuk and Thornton both want to come back. They're veterans. I'm not going to do more than a 1-year deal. 3.6 for Kovalchuk I think is pretty reasonable. 2.5 for Thornton's also not too bad. Frolik doesn't want to come back. Honestly, don't really need him back. Spezza, I thought he played pretty well. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. 2 years though, I don't know. Perot doesn't want to come back. Neither does Ryan, Maroon. All these guys want to test free agency. Puljujärvi though, 1 year 900K. All right, we'll do that. I think that's a fair deal. Eriksson X locked up. Grimaldi, like all these guys want to test free agency. But I mean, we're gonna have a ton of money, so it's not really the end of the world. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of guys out there for us to get. Defensively here, Chara still 84 overall. We're definitely doing a 1-year deal. You probably say yes here to $4 million. Schultz, don't want to kind of trade from for nothing. 5 years, I think 5 years, 4.25 for an 83 offensive defenseman. It's pretty good. Bouwmeester, Fleury, Green. Okay, so Green's dropped in rating. We're keeping Fleury for sure. And let's see, we only need him for 2 more years. Let's try 2 years, 2.75. And then Bouwmeester, Green. We'll see what the cost is for both. 2x2 for Bouwmeester, Green. 2x1.8. Thing is, Schultz basically gives us what Green did, but better, so I'm going to let him go. Alright, I'm thinking 1 year for Bouwmeester, $2 million. And if someone passes him from the AHL, or, I don't know, we make a trade, we can just, you know, flip him for a pick. Mueller definitely want to keep potential growth and just as an AHL D-man. And then looking at our goalies here, I think Grice, you know, played really well. Definitely want to keep him. 84 overall, 2.5 million for 2 years is great. Jones does want to come back. 1.7. I mean, we did get him for free, and then we called him up to be our backup, so it's like whatever. Hutchison, I think, would be a really good AHL starter. 1.1, we bury him, which costing us 100K, it's whatever. So Jones will just let go. Spencer Knight, if he grows, could even be like the AHL starter. Kovalchuk and Thornton here, I think we're going to have to keep. I'm going to do 1 year for both, though, just because they are old in case they drop in rating. Thornton's already dropped, too, and he didn't have a bad year, so it's kind of concerning. Yeah, I'm going to keep Kovalchuk. He's got that great shot. I'm going to let Thornton go, though. So what's that give us for forwards? 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys don't want to come back, so I just have to assume they're not going to sign. 7, 8. So we'll have to sign 4 forwards. Not the end of the world. So Hutchinson signed with us. I mean, he could even be our backup, actually, at 80 overall, but I'm thinking ideally he's AHL starter. Fleury's coming back. Kovalchuk. Puljujärvi. Chara doesn't like that we changed the finances. I'll have to re-sign him. Bouwmeester's coming back. Same as Sorella, Grice, Schultz. Mueller wants to test for agency. I can just qualify him to make sure that doesn't happen. So I think it's just Mueller and Chara we have to sign. And we have 17 million in cap space. Chara costs us 4. We'll have 13 million. So I'm still not going to do... I'll give him 4.3 for 1. 13 million bucks to sign basically any free agent we want. Like, pretty good spot to be in. And there we go. Chara did accept his new offer. So, like I was saying, those guys that are all older, I don't want to, you know, give them more than 1 year just in case they do drop in rating. 13 million bucks. I think, like, if Taylor Hall's in free agency, that'd be insane. I'm trying to think. Petrangelo, Holtby. So, yeah, see, the new teams they're on, though, they get signed. Not as good free agency, which is kind of what I thought might happen here. Which is good, I guess, that we actually have a stacked team already. 26 to 50 contracts. We can sign so many guys. All the AHL signs I'll definitely just skip for you guys. So we needed a few forwards. Defense were actually good. Like, If we're signing the defenseman, it'd just be for extras. Pollock. I mean, I would like Pollock. I think we can make a trade maybe with whatever team he's on. So instead, actually, I'm going to try and get Dermott here. $3.5 million for 3 years. 81 overall in the Rangers. RFA. Give up a second-round pick. He's definitely worth that. And if we do get him, I think at that point we'll actually try and trade Bouwmeester. So in terms of forwards, I like Strome. He's still got potential. Definitely kind of like the big fish. $5 million, 5 years. Okay, we need a few guys. Kunin's an RFA. Okposo actually went up to 84. That's really surprising. I dropped his potential from medium elite to medium top 9, I think. So he still didn't do too bad. James Neal actually up to an 83. You know, he's like a good scorer there. Kind of have that though in Kovalchuk. Josh Level up to an 83. That's actually a really big surprise. So this fantasy draft gave some other guys, you know, a chance to really get some play time. Kind of like Vegas Golden Knights. Certain guys get time to shine, and turns out they played well. Totally forgot to check goalies here. Jacob Markstrom, 88 overall. I mean, we could have him and Grice as our 2 goalies, which would be nuts. Hope he dropped to 84. Wow, so he did not have a good year. We have 14 million, 3 to Dermott, we have 11. So could get Markstrom, we'd still have 4. I think Markstrom would be a huge signing, him and Grice. Let's try 7x7. I mean, that just gives us an elite goalie. I think we have to do it. And so because he has the best forward available, I'm going to make an offer on Ryan Strome here. He wants 5.25 for 5 years. We'll just give him that, see what he says. That's about all we can offer if we get him, Dermott, and Markstrom. So I'll have to wait on those 3 guys before we can make other offers. But also want to try and get a bunch of 2-way guys here. Wow, Pominville. He's kind of old, though. Still, I guess he could be like a, you know, insurance policy. Wilson, Barchi, Smith. So yeah, I'll probably make a bunch of offers. You guys will see who says yes, who says no. Big trade just went down. Minnesota gets 2 first-round picks for Brock Nelson, a 3rd and a 4th. That's a lot to give up for an 84 overall. Howell here accepts. He's always available. He'll just be, honestly, I guess in juniors right now. That's why it shows that. But just a free prospect who's probably worth about a 4th, maybe a 3rd. Svechnikov appreciates the interest, but with another team who's an RFA. Dermott's accepting as of now. Bailey accepts AHL player. Strome accepts. That's a big ad for the forward group. Forward back Carlson accepts as of now. Barchi accepts AHL player. Same with Boucher, McCarron, Smith. Dalcol there is accepting as of now, but teams got a chance to match. They probably will. So still waiting to hear back from Markstrom. We got another trade going down here. Yarncroc and a 3rd going to St. Louis. Lindbaum and 2/3 to Montreal. Let's see. So forward back Carlson, they matched. Makes sense. Decide to sign with your team, but you don't have cap space. So that must be because, I don't know, maybe all the RFAs. Dalcol, they're matching 2. Okay, let's go try and sign Markstrom. I feel like I should have the money. Cap space, 6.3 million. Oh, wow. So maybe I just miscalculated. So right here, guys, I'm just hoping that the Rangers don't accept our offer on Dermott, in which case you have to give up a 2nd-round pick. So I'm now trying to trade Bouwmeester for a 2nd-round pick. So basically, we get Dermott for free. I'm surprised Bouwmeester is actually worth a 2nd-rounder. 36 years old, 81 overall. It's a great trade for us if he goes through here. Trade's rejected. They do say sweeten the value just a touch. Okay. I mean, we'll do a 6th rounder here. Come on. There we go. Okay, so a 6th round pick for Dermott if we get him. Same rating as Bouwmeester, but so much younger. Still waiting to hear back from the Rangers. Goligoski going to Boston. And Dermott has been matched by the Rangers. Crap. Okay, so might have to sign a defenseman, but actually we have a lot of 78, so honestly, we just have some picks now, which might be nice, but I just still want to try and sign Markstrom, as we had to clear up cap space anyways. So we got almost 11 million now. Hopefully he's still here. It's only been a day. He is still here. I think, you know, gives us an elite starting goaltender. Really good backup in Grice. Just a great sign, I think. Now, you could probably still use 1 more forward, guys, assuming 1 or 2 guys to make the jump to the NHL, but they're kind of expensive right now, I think, so I'm just going to wait probably about a month. I'm sure there'll still be some available. They'll be a lot cheaper, though, and hopefully we hear back. Let's go. Okay, so I think Markstrom, Grice, pretty nasty 1-2 goalie punch. Also, guys, one thing I just noticed, Ryan Strome had 16 points in 18 playoff games last year, so that's a really good sign. I was going to say, I was looking at the free agency period, and one thing you won't notice, beginning of August, and there's nothing left. Usually, there's still a good amount of low 80s because teams are so cap strapped, but with the fantasy draft, that just wasn't the case. Especially goalies, there's like some backups and stuff available. I think the top goalie right now is Corey Schneider, who's a 77. Like, that's insane. Gagne, though, 725k for a 78. That's probably the best deal. Or actually, there's a lot of guys like that. Wilson as well. Gagne, we did lose Spezza, so maybe he could be like our fourth line center. I think I like him a bit more than Richardson just because he's got pretty good offensive stats. Martinook, I think, also be a pretty good fourth liner. He's got a couple teams interested. We'll give him $1 million for 1 year there. You guys trying to trade for Taves to replace Bouwmeester essentially. Sorella's not the best. 23, only 72. Robinson here we just drafted. 18 medium top 9, but 52 overall. Value looks to be way on our side, so let's see what the centers say. Trades rejected, saving money. That's a glitch. I'm also adding Svitov here, who's got low top 6. The value looks to be like way too much for Taves, but it's kind of our only option really to get a defenseman. So see what the centers say. There we go. Martinook goes with Chicago, and I think that's Chicago. Gagne though goes with us. We could still use, I think, some forward depth, depending basically how guys grow. Brad Richardson actually isn't too bad. I'm looking at his stats here. He's pretty good in terms of face-offs and defensive stats. So maybe he could be fourth line center. Have Gagne on the wing. I feel like a guy like Wilson, like, it's just defensive stats aren't there, and that's what you kind of want on a fourth line. So 3 teams interested in him actually right now. I mean, two-way. We'll just give him the max, and hopefully he goes with us. Another huge trade just went down. Boston gets Giordano and Youssef from St. Louis for 2 first-round picks and a prospect. So at the start of next season now, guys, as you can see there, team stats is champion. I think we know we have a good shot at this year. Good amount of depth. First line obviously hasn't changed. I mean, it's so stacked. Obi's 93 now, Draisaitl 95, Miller 89, plus 3 makes Draisaitl 98. Now, second line's a little bit interesting. We got Denisenko here playing with Wenberg and Kovalchuk. Wenberg's actually up to an 83. Really good playmaker, so Kovalchuk there's a shooter. And then Denisenko's also a pretty good playmaker with a decent shot. Only 79, but like those 2 stats are pretty good. It's just his awareness that's kind of low. Hopefully he plays well. Eriksson Ek, Strome, Carter, I think it's a very solid third line. Puljujarvi, Gagne, Mott getting a +1. It's not too bad on the fourth. Lindholm, Hamilton still the top pair. We got Schultz and Chara on the second pair. Fleury, Taves on the bottom. Goaltending wise, like I said, Markstrom and Greiss. Greiss actually went down 1, but I think it's an awesome duo there. In terms of the special teams, I think the first power play unit is the exact same. Second one looks pretty good. The penalty kill, both zeros. 3-man, we actually got a 0 now on the first unit, so hopefully never have to use that -3 second unit again. I couldn't figure out a way to get better than that. Like, I'm surprised we were able to get 0 actually on 1. AHL here, Boldy, Richardson, Edsel, McCarron, Smith, Barchi. Hoping, Boldy can play well here and grow a bit. Defense looks really good. Morin and Pearson both get a +3. Same with Foot and Chatfield. Levy. So we got guys coming up. We drafted Drysdale. We actually have Merkley still too. So maybe even should have taken a forward because I think we actually have probably better defensive depth at this point than forwards. But I mean, we can definitely trade somebody if we need to. Although forwards look pretty good too. I'm looking at it. I feel like maybe the second line could be a bit better, but other than that, it's pretty good. Captaincy, no changes there. Take a look here at the offense, defense, goaltending stats. We only can make 2 more trades, so probably I'm just going to sim to the deadline unless we're playing terrible. 95 offense, 89 defense, 88 goaltending. So I think we're a little bit better than last year. I'm sure a lot of other teams are too. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, we just got a big-time trade over here from the Ducks. Ryan McDonough and John Moore for Merkley and Greiss. I mean, last I saw, Ryan McDonough had a ton of trade value. I'm not sure what his rating is. 87 overall. He's got 12 points, 49 games. It's a high-rated defenseman, though. He would jump right on the top here with Hamilton. More 81, we don't really need. Merkley, 75 already, playing in junior. We also have Drysdale, though. And then Greiss, 83 is a good backup. I mean, this is a tough one. Drysdale's a 74. So, yeah, Drysdale's already 1 below Merkley. Merkley's actually higher value, which makes no sense. Only 1 overall higher, 2 years older. I mean, McDonough would really sure up our defense. We could run him and Hamilton top pair. Then Lindholm, Schultz, Chara, Fleury. Trade away Taves. Actually, probably keep Taves because Chara will most likely retire at the end of this year. That's tough. I don't need more, though. And so I want to keep Greiss as a backup. So does this. This looks like it'd be pretty fair. I mean, we are win now, as you can see. I think it's January with 31, 13, and 3. 87 overall defenseman is a pretty elite defenseman. He's making a pretty fair contract, too. We're changing it, though. That's the thing. We'd have to put more back on with Greiss for it not to count as a trade. I mean, we got 2 more, though, and our team's pretty good. Probably can get away with 1 more trade after this. Alright, we'll see what they say. Merkley for McDonough. Trade's accepted. Okay, so our defense just got a lot better. So after that trade, guys, just an update look at the defense. Like I was saying, McDonough on the top pair now with Hamilton. Lindholm Chara, and then Fleury Schultz. I wanted Schultz on the second pair, but unfortunately, chemistry doesn't really work for the bottom. So, I mean, our defense got a whole lot better. Tay's going to be scratched, basically because I think, like I said, Chara will retire, so we'll have Tay's for next year. Hopefully it doesn't affect his rating too much. This is a pretty solid team. Like, you could probably have a bit better of a second line, but Tarasenko's got 20 goals, 12 assists his rookie year. 32 points isn't bad. I think he's got outside shot the Calder, depending on the other rookies are doing. So he's just going to grow more, be ready for next year. Kovalchuk's gone down one, but I mean, I think Carter will lose chemistry. So, yeah, I mean, probably just make a trade for a depth forward at the deadline with their last trade. And other than that, stay the course. His team's playing pretty well. And we just had a decent trade go down, guys. Schmidt going to Calgary, Zuccarello going to Nashville. Pretty, decent trade there. I'm surprised, actually. Schmidt, you'd think, would have had the third rounder with him because he's one overall less. But I don't know, maybe just defensemen are worth more. It's just about a month away from the deadline. First in the division, 69 points. Nice. Another big trade just went down. Bufflin and Saad going to LA. Two former Blackhawks. Islanders there get McLennan, a second-round pick, another prospect. So a couple weeks away now. And Gru gets traded again, along with the first to Anaheim. Zucker and Moore to Vancouver. Let's see here. 36, 15, and 4. Geez, okay. Cassie and Zach in a third. That's really not too crazy. Sabres just fired their head coach. And Pavelski's going to Pittsburgh. Strange is in a second, going to Winnipeg. We actually lose the Islanders there 2-1, who I think look to be like one of the worst teams, or 29 and 24. I guess they're not too bad. 2/3 in Johns for a second, and Gray's going to say no. We only have one trade left, and I think, like I said, I want to add some forward depth. Koivu Achari for a couple prospects. Let's see, McMichael, third and a fourth. Coyle, it's a pretty good trade. Anaheim's definitely rebuilding. We get a win there against the Leafs, so that's big, obviously, in our division. Same with the Montreal win before that. Zach Parise, a third, and Wilson going to Columbus. Arizona gets Burnfoot in a fifth, so Columbus making a lot of moves, stacking up. Brassard, Goligoski, not a terrible trade. Boston, Pitt. Wow, so that sucks. 3 straight losses up to the deadline, and we're actually behind Senators now by 1 win, 39, 19, and 4. So Senators bounced back actually pretty good from last year. Ovechkin's killing it again, 75 points. He's got 37 goals, 38 assists. Like I was saying, guys, we can make one trade here. See what's out there on the block, and probably going to be a forward. So right here, guys, making a small trade of St. Louis for Yarncroc. 2 years left at $2 million, pretty good salary, 82 overall. He'll be 3rd or 4th line winger for us. Offering Boucher and a 2nd-round pick. I think this goes through. Trades rejected. Wow, okay, I thought that was pretty good value, to be honest. Throwing like a 4th in 2022. There you go. So they put Yarncroc in the AHL. I gotta send down somebody. I'm thinking Mott, because Gagne's playing center for us. Never mind, I guess that doesn't work. I guess one option we have, because he's scratched, is sending down Taze. We might lose him for nothing, but he's scratched, so never mind, we can't even do that. I guess we could send down him and Mott. That still doesn't... How does that not work? We're clearing so much cap space. Okay, I think Yarncroc is stuck in the AHL. It's so stupid. And we're at the end of the season now, guys, with a pretty good record. 50, 28, and 4. 104 points. We actually got beat out by the Senators, though, in our division. Atlantic's just too good, I guess. Draisaitl leading scorer, 93 points there, 82 games. Maple Leafs, Canadians. Lightning actually missed the playoffs after winning the Stanley Cup. That's a little bit surprising. So we'll see how everyone did. Draisaitl's now at 95. Loving him at 3rd overall. Ovi there, 92, 47 goals. I think he's got a decent shot. Therese Richard. Miller, 77. So not quite as good a year for the top line, but still pretty solid. Kovalchuk, 58 points at 37 years old. It's not bad. Carter and Strome, both 53. Denisenko, 50 his rookie year. He's got to go up in rating. Wenberg almost had 50. Minus 15, though. It's kind of rough. Take a look at goalies here. Markstrom, pretty solid stats. .906, 2.82. Grice also had pretty good stats there as the backup. Look at the AHL team here. Boldy, 64, 73. 77, I think he maybe makes a jump next year. I do want to see, where is Yarncroc? I wonder how he did in like his 17 games. almost a point per game, so yeah, not too bad at all. We'll see. I don't think 93 from Draisaitl is going to be anywhere near the Art Ross, but you never know. Maybe it's a down year in scoring. Nope, McDavid 120. That's why he went 1st overall. Gaudreau 110. Those two are just carrying Rangers. Sagan always up there. Giroux, McKinnon, Stamkos, Voracek, Aho. Tuck a big year. Okay, so that's the first line for the Rangers. 87 overall. Now he's going to go up even more with almost 100 points. And Sagan, 57 goals. Tarasenko, Kane. So Evander Kane actually 48. It's a big year for him. Up to an 87. Ovi there, 5th in goals, tied with Gaudreau. That Rangers top line is just insane. I think I forgot. Did I forget to check last year defense? I don't know. Carlson though first, 87. McCart on his tail, 74. We'll take a look at the standings next. I know we got 2nd in the Atlantic. I think there's a good chance we got 2nd in the entire league. Like 104 is a pretty solid season. No, okay, we got 4th in the league. Edmonton, Pittsburgh actually, 1 and 2. Ottawa 3. Anyone squeak in the playoffs? Wow, Winnipeg at 17, kind of a squeak in. And last in the league is Arizona there, 64 points. I don't remember seeing Arizona fire their coach though, so I guess they're sticking with them. We'll get started with the playoffs now, so we already know we're playing the Leafs again. I mean, we beat them last time. Hopefully, can do that again here in the first round. So looking at the Leafs lines here, guys, trying to see if it's changed at all. They still got Bergeron, Dubois down the middle. Definitely some more depth in the bottom 6. 2 of our former players in Frolik and Thornton. I mean, alright, I guess they're just going to our rival. Hedman, Dumba. I knew they had a good defense. They still do. Goaltending, Leonard there is actually starting. I think last time they had him as the backup. So we beat him last time, I think, in 5. Hopefully can do that again. We're a better team in the regular season. I think this team, we have it now. We added McDonough. I mean, there's really not a lot of holes on this team. Let's see what happens here. First 2 games are at home. Last time, I think they actually had the home ice advantage. 5-4 OT loss, 3-1 loss. Alrighty, come on. We got to win at least 1 game in Toronto. AHL season's over. I actually forgot to check AHL standings. Not good. We win 1 of the first 4. Have to win these next 3 straight. I mean, let's see if we can even get 1 here. There we go. There we go. Okay, game 7. Detroit, Toronto, and Detroit. I'm simming this one period by period. Come on. I thought we were done for. I'm not going to lie. Let's go. Ovechkin. Nothing. The second. Hold on. And there we go. Hamilton, Draisaitl, Dubois gets 1. 3-1. Came back from down 3-1. I was hoping we could have done that against Tampa last year, but eventually we were able to do it here against Toronto. See, we're playing round number 2. I know Tampa's out of it. It's going to be Ottawa, of course. So we'll take a look at Ottawa's lines next. Look at Ottawa's lines here, guys. I think they're worrying a little bit too much about chemistry. Simon's their first line center, while Couturier on the second. Even Schmaltz there on the third. They do have Laine, though, and JVR playing with them. Hiroshi, Stahl at the wing. The dude's got 91 face-offs, so that's also kind of interesting. Yandel, Weber, Shankirk, Ekholm's a very solid top 4. Even the bomb's not too bad. Price and net, but he's down to an 87, which is kind of surprising. They must have not been too good last year, but they're pretty good now. I mean, I don't know. Simon, 81. Draisaitl, 95. He's their first line center, so he's going out there 20 minutes a night. I like Draisaitl a lot more. Also, too, guys, I think our AHL team actually swept their first round. 3-0 there against Chicago. So we'll see how you do against Ottawa. They do have the home ice advantage. First 2 games here are going to be in Ottawa. Away games. 4-3 loss, 3-2 loss. Okay, come on. Win at least 1. There you go. 5-1 win. Win back-to-back at home would be nice. 7-5 loss. Down 3-1 again. Can we do it back-to-back? We can't. Okay, so exact same story as last season. Second round, out in 5 games. Against both times, got eliminated by the Atlantic Division winner. Texas here. Did we already lose or win? Looks like we're down 3-2. Why is it not letting me sim here? Okay, here we go. Down 3-2 to get Texas, and we get knocked out in 6. Alright, so I mean, we're having a decent showing so far, first 2 seasons, but still looking for that Stanley Cup. Playoffs just ended. The Minnesota Wild actually won the Stanley Cup, and the Cleveland Monsters there called their Cup champs. So once we get to the draft, we'll take a look at the playoff tree awards, all that stuff. Florida jumps up to number 1 there from 9, Buffalo 2, LA 3 jumping up from 13. So 2 pretty big jumps this year. We're going to have to take a look at that playoff tree and see what Minnesota went through. Draisaitl had 15 points in 12 playoff games. I mean, that's pretty solid. Honestly, I'm not even really sure who's on Minnesota's team, to be honest. Wow, they sweep the Flames, then they sweep the Jets. 6 games against the Canucks, and they beat the Devils in 7. And Ottawa lost to the Devils in 6 after beating us. So awards here, Minnesota Stanley Cup. Individual awards here, you got McDavid with the Art Ross and the Hart. McCarr actually got the James Norris. That's kind of surprising over Carlson. Gaudreau, Lady Bing. Denisenko did get the call there with 50 points. That's awesome. So Lafreniere. I'm trying to remember who Lafreniere went to. I'm drawing a blank, but I guess he had a bit of a down year. Aho there, Conn Smythe. That's who Minnesota has. Gibson, Vezina. Also got the William Jennings. Matheson, Bill Masterton. Ducks coach there got the Jack Adams. Barkov, Selke. McDavid got the Ted Lindsay. Then Sagan, Maurice Richard. AHL awards here. So did we win the regular season? We did not. Did we even win our division? Let's see if we have a trophy here. So not as good a year for our AHL team, but that's okay. Repo, I'm not even sure who that is, to be honest. Most points. Nosek, MVP. Boldy, most goals. That's a good sign. Holt, outstanding rookie. Bean, best defenseman. Talbot, best goalie. Lesterson there, MVP of the playoffs. Dalcol, sportsmanship. Brook, community involvement. And then Talbot, lowest goals against. Okay, so like I was saying, through the first 2 seasons, not too bad. Both years. Second round playoff exits. But definitely, you know, we're getting close. I guess this 3rd year, there's really no reason. Like, if we don't have a guy who's NHL ready, like, if he's, like, say Drysdale's not on the NHL team, we're not keeping him. Like, they cut him on the NHL team this 3rd year, literally. Cup or bust, nothing to hold back. I'm not sure what you guys are going to come up with for that punishment, but I'd rather not have to do it. So, I'm going to go all out here in year 3. Hopefully, can make this happen. I know we still have our first round pick, I believe, so we could even trade that. I don't really know. We'll have to take a look at the draft. Wow, Florida has the 1st overall on the block. That's kind of surprising. So where is our pick? Probably around the same as last year. 25, okay. And Ratty is supposed to be 1st overall, so that makes sense. Take a look at potential here first. Medium Elite's supposed to go 11. I mean, we could maybe get up from 25. Take a look at the gems. No gems this year, just 1 bust. Okay, so this isn't looking like it's going to be the best draft. And I don't trust our scouts at all, as they have Ratty as the number 2 rank opposed to number 1. So already it's like, what are you doing? Alright guys, so right now I'm offering Chicago a 1st and 2nd round pick for 11th overall, as there's supposed to be a medium elite player there. And they reject it. I kind of figured that. I don't think I bring back Chara this year, because we have Taze still at a cheaper price. So I was looking at our defense. Honestly, that should be locked up as long as we can bring back Hamilton, which is 88. I feel like we probably can bring him back. They like Chara too. Maybe they go for this. Still no. Puljujärvi's down to a 79 now. Not going to make our team. He's got some value. Let's try all this for 11th overall. And there we go. Okay, so hopefully that medium elite guy is still there. Basically, I'm going to be using that guy probably in a trade unless he's actually high rated. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Ratty 1st overall, only a 76. I need to improve his rating. Our Tukkanen kind of better at 80. At least for the 1 year. Knights, Gunther. Like, how is Gunther higher than Ratty? I'm pretty sure Ratty's higher rated, like, in the regular game, so I'm not sure why he's not growing in the franchise. Sillinger, Clark, LaHaru, Gilson, I think's made up. Wall, Lambos. Okay, so I believe there was a made-up guy. I swear there was a defenseman. Maybe it was Gilson's I was looking at, who I thought I could have gotten 11, and Columbus took him, because he had guaranteed medium elite potential. I'm not seeing it. I think it had to be that Gilson guy, so Columbus screwed us. I guess we just make a pick here, hopefully get lucky with it. Harrison's not the pick. It's got to be this Tapper guy, hope for the best. 75 medium elite, not bad. And so I just simmed to the 5th round, guys. Like I said, there was nothing our scouts found for us this draft. Not sure what they were doing. They must have just been vacationing in Switzerland when we sent them out there, because they didn't find any players for us. I mean, pretty much guaranteed low top 4. I'll take that. Get like something who has value. Low top 6, not a great pick. I think we actually only have 3 picks here, because we trade our 1st and 2nd. 7th rounder here. I guess we're going to go for it all. This guy's maybe medium elite. Michael Mrazek. HL top 6. At least our 1st round pick was good. Alright guys, we're at the re-sign phase here. We have just under 21 million in cap space. Now both Ovechkin and Hamilton need re-signed. Luckily they want extensions. OV 8.5 1 year. Honestly, that's a pretty good ask by him. 92 overall. That's pretty fair. I'm going to try and get him for 8. I think like the 80% rule or whatever. I'm not sure if that's accurate. I think it's more about 85, 90. So Hamilton, 7.5. That's actually not too bad. So we actually still have about 6 million in cap space. Dennis Senko's up to an 85 now, which is huge on an entry-level deal. Carter's still 84. Let's see. Wenberg's up to an 84. Eriksson Ek, what's he going to want? $2 million is an 84. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're actually looking okay here. Yarncroc is going to get called up. He's no longer in the AHL. Kovalchuk just want to resign. That's probably fine. $3 million down to 82. We'll live without Kovalchuk. Yarncroc basically takes his spot. Taze takes Chara's spot. Boldy's a 79. I'm thinking he'll be a low 80. Probably takes like Puljujärvi's spot. Gagne, Smith will find other 78s basically to replace them on the 4th line if we need them. Then Mueller, Ulevi, they're both AHL defensemen. So let me see here. Goaltending were good. Markstrom, Grice. Markstrom did drop by 2, but it's whatever. We're stuck with him. I think he's good enough we can win a cup with him. Hamilton signs. We have our top 6 D-men. And then forwards here. So that's the first line, obviously. Denisenko, Carter, Strome. Some combination of these 3 will be the second line. Then you throw Yarncroc on the third. And then fourth line, we're looking at Boldy with probably just a couple of cheap free agent signings. I don't think Barty's really good enough. So we'll have about $5 million for that. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Also, guys, Michael Hutchinson needed a new contract. Obviously signed him. I think he only asked for $700K. So 80 overall, starting AHL goaltender is really good. Ovi said yes, that's huge. Hamilton as well, so those are the 2 big guys. Rejection from Eriksson Ek. I mean, he was asking for a pretty reasonable contract anyways. Mueller wants to test free agency. I think he was an RFA, so we'll qualify him. Also, our 11th overall pick, I decided to give a contract to. He'll be in the AHL, but I'm thinking he's 75 overall, medium elite. We have Drysdale, Spencer Knight. We could combine those 3 guys and get somebody with tons and tons of value. I'm thinking McDavid-esque. I don't know about actually McDavid. Okay, so Eriksson Ek, I'll just 2.1 million. He's already asking for cheap. So, like I said, left $5 million, 2 depth forwards, or make a blockbuster trade to bring in somebody. You can even go for McKinnon making $6 million if we're giving up all 3 of those guys, which would be kind of ridiculous. That's a free agency period now, guys, and really there's not much available, which again makes sense in the fantasy draft. Teams are gonna have more cap space because they only do spend to the cap, and Iaffello apparently is the top player, 6.8 million for 84. I definitely don't want part of that action. Haller though, 85, so 6.5 is a bit better deal. That's why 5 teams interested. Martinez, Schwartz, I mean, that's kind of blowing our whole budget. We're good on defense. Kubelik, Dzingel. Again, I think our better option here is to trade a couple top prospects for a player who's making around 5 million, who can really be an impact, and hopefully push us over the hump, make us a Stanley Cup team. Simon here, 2681, wants 2.8. I don't know. We have some players coming up. Basically, I'm just looking here for value early. If not, I'm definitely willing to wait. I'm not even sure why I have defense included. Our top 6 is fine. So literally just looking for a forward and looking for somebody on a good value deal. Speaking of value, there we go. Bodker, 80 overall, wants 975K. I mean, he's fast. I think it could be a good play on the 4th line. So he's the kind of guy I'm looking for. Then I also see Bozak, 81. I think he could be a good 4th line center, and I think at that point we're honestly good. I don't care. I guess we give him 2 years. I think we'd be good for forwards, and then that doesn't include, making a big blockbuster trade. Goalies, I think I was looking at. Do I have to do goalies? Jordan Binnington's the best one, but he's same rating as Markstrom, so it's whatever. Dubnyk, Crawford, Ranta. I guess we'll take a quick look at 2 ways, because if we can sign some guys with value for free, obviously just helps make trades easier. 2568 is not great. 2071 fringe starter. Ellis is actually not bad. If I can get him for free, I'll give him whatever. Hopefully no one else makes him an offer. That's pretty good free goalie to pick up. Kuffner here, 2575, low top 6. To get him for free, again, I think that's decent. Worst case, helps out the HL team. Oxenchuk here, 2060, low top 6. Try and get him as well. Launch RFAs. And Edmonton just gave up 2 first-round picks for Pearson and Hickey. You'd think they'd learn after they lost a lottery pick, but apparently not. And look at this. That Oxenchuk guy declined our offer. Pretty much always the free agents accept. Petrie and Bufflin. That's 2, big-name defensemen. Spencer Knight, Cal Foote. Thing is, I think our defense is fine. If I'm going to use... I honestly forgot I had Foote. We could trade basically all of our good young players. Probably use them in 2 different trades and bring in 2 superstars, which I think is a better deal. Cole Nellis accepts, though, which is nice. Same with Kuffner. Bozak went with the Oilers. That's okay. Bodker signed, so could still use a 4th line center. Carl Soderberg's available, guys. As you can see, he's 80 overall. His role as well as a 3rd line checker, which is a lot higher than the 4th line roles, and yet he's only asking for 1.375. I just need him for the 4th line. I think we can maybe get him here. 2 years. Tampa Bay's interested. What are his defensive stats? Because that's basically what I'm worried about. 85, 85, 86. Probably play him on the PK. Let's take a stab at him here. And a blockbuster just went down. Dallas trades Brent Burns in the 3rd rounder to Toronto in exchange for Brock Nelson and Michael Frolik. Now, Toronto gave up, I think, 2 first-round picks for Brock Nelson, if I'm not mistaken. So, I guess... they turned it into Brent Burns, which isn't too bad. Soderberg did accept our offer, so we got the 4th line center. Bodker's playing with them. I think now we just got to go after that superstar trade. I was talking about making a superstar trade, guys. Here we go. Ottawa's got Couturier on the block. 1 year left at 4.3 million, 88 overall. He had 68 points last year. Very good two-way center. I mean, look at those defensive stats. He needs second line center behind Draisaitl. Offering up Cal Foot, 22.75. Not going to make the NHL team. Tapper, we just got 11th overall. If I can turn him and Foot to Couturier, I'm laughing. There we go. And next year, guys, we're trying to make a trade to Pittsburgh Penguins, which I hope goes through. McDonough, we just traded Mercury for. It probably wasn't the best trade, looking back on it, as he went down from 87 to 86, which made him lose a lot of value. Also, too, him and Hamilton, I think, only got a +1 or like a 0. Trying to trade him right now for Suter, who's making $1 million more, but 89 overall, so he's 3 overall higher. He's also older. Defensive defenseman, though, I think will match up better with Hamilton as an offensive defenseman. Obviously, we have 1 year left, so, you know, I think it's justified. McDonough's got more value, neither on the block. We'll see what Pittsburgh says here. Trade's accepted, okay. So, hopefully that trade works out well for us. I mean, he's actually now our highest rated defenseman above Hamilton. You got Lindholm, Schultz, Fleury, Tage. Olavia actually could even make the team, in which case, maybe trade a guy like Schultz, clear up some cap space, bring somebody else in. But, you know, I think our team's looking pretty good now. And Winnipeg just traded Brendan Gallagher to New Jersey for a 1st, a 2nd, and Lipanov. Pretty big trade. So we're at the start of the season now, guys, and I just saw that Draisaitl's up to an 83. So yeah, he grows a ton in this. Good to know for your drafts. Take Draisaitl if you can. Look at those puck skills. Are you kidding me? Okay, so yeah, we don't need Justin Schultz. We only have 2 trades left, though. So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe trade him for a pick. All right, guys, so because we're calling Draisaitl up, we don't need Schultz. I'm trying to trade Schultz and Strome right now to Columbus for Josh Bailey. Making $5 million for 3 more years, 86 overall. Basically, we're paying Schultz to upgrade Strome. Kind of expensive price, but we can do it as we're calling up Draisaitl. Also, too, it clears up $4 million in cap space for us, so we'll have $7 million for one last trade at the deadline to add, you know, hopefully a superstar. Let's see what Columbus says here. Trades rejected. I thought this was a pretty good trade offer for sure. Really surprised they're saying no to this one. Maybe this Niemela guy. I mean, I can add him. We have to keep at least 3 picks in this year's draft. We have a 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th. Throw in a 3rd. There you go. So let's start the 3rd and final season now, guys. As you can see there, team stats is still champion. I think this is the best team we've had yet, so fingers crossed, you know, can win that Stanley Cup. Ovechkin, Draisaitl, Miller, I'm still running as the first line. Miller's down to 87 now, but playing like a 90. I think that'll be fine. Denisenko, Couturier, Eriksson-Ek. I mean, Denisenko put up 50 as a 79. Now he's an 85. Couturier, very, very good. 2nd line center. Awesome defensive stats. Even Eriksson-Ek there's up to an 85. 3rd line's really good too. Wenberg, Carter, Bailey. I mean, that top 9 is just stacked. Bodker, Soderberg, Garncroc. I think 2 is a really good 4th line. Suter, Hamilton on the top pair is definitely an upgrade. You got Taze and Lindholm getting a +3, so they're playing like 88s, 85s. Fleury, Draisaitl. I wanted Draisaitl top 4, but couldn't pass out the +3 there. Draisaitl, obviously, offensive defenseman. His stats there, puck skills are insane. So making sure to use him on the power plays. Goaltending, still got Markstrom, Grice. Grice down to 82 now. So the first unit here, I think, is the same, but Denisenko's taking Kovachuk's spot. The second unit here, actually a lot better than before, so should have 2 really good power plays. Again, Drysdale there. Hopefully it does well. 4-man power plays, just a couple zeros. PK, 0, -1. The 3-man are getting -3s again. Couldn't figure out a way to get rid of it, so it's whatever. Hopefully, you know, our players there are good enough. Doesn't really matter. Again, team looking pretty good. We can make one more trade. Still got a lot of assets. Could definitely bring in a superstar. Boley, for instance, is the guy we could trade. Looking at the AHL team. Same goes for pretty much any defenseman. Ulavia I got there, so we trade away defenseman, can call him up. You know, lots of options. Spencer Knight's still there. We could definitely, you know, make something happen here. Two, I actually wanted to show you guys. I don't think I've ever had this before. Both penalty kills getting +5s in the AHL. That's pretty nuts. I've had one +5 before, but I never had both getting a +5. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, really, there's no holes on this team. It's a solid team. We have one trade left. I'm not going to bother making a trade unless it's for a superstar impact player, because I feel like otherwise there's really just no point. So looking at our stats here, they should be the best yet. And they are 97 offense, 92 D, 86 goaltending. So hopefully we play well. Like I said, at the deadline, we'll try to add somebody big and win that Stanley Cup. All right, guys, we're currently 7-0. Figured I'd jump in. Edmonton's 2nd and 3rd, gonna say no. 5-4 win. Usually when I do this, they lose. Let's see how long we can keep it going. 9-0. The Bruins there, 9-2. Oh, 9-1. All right, not a bad start to the year, though. Winnipeg just offered us Brodin and Eakin for first and second, but I think we're good. Like I said, superstar trade or nothing. Edmonton fires their coach. You guys will see we're 35-19-1 now. After starting out 7-0, 9-0, whatever we were, I think it was 9-0. We were actually 15-3 at one point, and we're now 35-21. So that means we've gone 500, like 20-20 since then, or I guess 20-17, but still. Slowed down quite a bit. Still in the playoff race, aside from the Lightning, who are crushing it. 86 points. Eric Johnson, a third and a fifth. I want to get a better player than Johnson. I'm thinking high 80s, or, like I said, not going to bother. Goldhopen, definitely not quite. Although they are trade offers, so we could say yes, and it wouldn't count. But our team is, like, pretty solid here. So, at the deadline, 38, or are we 39? There we go, 39, beat the Ducks. 39-21-1, which surprisingly is only good for third in the division. Jets basically making us the exact same offer. One behind the Sabres there, and like I said, Lightning are first place. Who's the leading scorer going to be? And it's JT Miller. Wow. I called him out being an 87 now. 81 points, 61 games, 60 assists. So yeah, one behind the Sabres, but Lightning at 90 points is ridiculous. Flyers 87. I mean, we beat the first place team in the West, so the East is just that much better. We got one trade left to make. Let's make it a good one. And look at this, guys. I just checked the team's ratings. Drysdale's an 88 now. Like, how does he grow that fast? He was in, what was he, a 77 at the draft. 83 start of the season, so he grew 5 during the summer. Now he's an 88 at the deadline, not even through a full year. This is the guy to draft in that draft. Like, if you're not getting Lafreniere first overall, I think you go Drysdale number 2. Because he just grows insanely fast. I think I put him on the first pair of Suter, honestly. Makes them both 89. Suter unfortunately dropped one, but he's older, makes sense. There we go, yeah. Hamilton, Lindholm again a +1. I think this is Drysdale's defense now. Like, that is ridiculous. That doesn't change anything. I guess we could try for +3 there. We're not getting it. Okay, so we'll do that. Dennis Sanko's an 86 now as well. Markstrom's still 86. I think I saw Ovi's down to a 90, but I mean, still Ovechkin, still has a 6 shot, so not the end of the world. Alright guys, so speaking of blockbuster trades, I've never seen this before. Edmonton has Rasmus Dahlin on the block. Like, the best defensive prospect in I don't know how long. First overall pick back in 2018. 21 years old, 89 overall, high top 4. He's got 57 points, 62 games through this year. He's averaging 26.5 minutes a night. I don't know what they're doing. I'm offering them Lindholm, 1 year left at 5.2. Spencer Knight, good prospect goalie, but who cares? We're going after Dahlin. Same with Boldy, he's a good player. Same with Levy. I mean, honestly, even if this wasn't the last year, I'd probably still do this for Dahlin, because how often are you going to get Raz Dahlin? The fact he's on the block makes him, you know, relatively attainable. They've also got Victor Soderstrom there on the block. I don't know what they're doing. They're fired their coach. He's got max value. Stammer's there, Voracek. So I'm thinking we go Dahlin. Our top 4 is insane. Our top 4 is 88 plus on defense with this trade. I think our offense is good enough. They should say yes, honestly, looking at this. Let's go. That's one of the biggest trades I've ever made. So that's it, guys. That's our 5th and final trade. I got to mark it down here. I'm going to do like a little live, I guess, edit lines for you guys. I can't believe I was looking through. It was actually either him or I think Florida had Brock Besser on the block. But again, I think our offense is pretty solid. You know, like I think Besser was an 88. Oh my gosh. 21-year-old, 89 overall Dahlin. 19-year-old, 88 overall Drysdale. Both getting a +3, so they're playing like 92 and 91. Are you kidding me? And Drysdale has 3 years left, Dahlin 5. I think like that's insane. You got a Hamilton, Suter, both 88s. That's the top 4 there is just ridiculous. That doesn't fix it at all. That top pair especially, like, I feel like we hacked this game. Also, guys, I just put Dahlin on the second power play unit. They still get a +1. He's actually got a better shot than Carter. And I'm moving Drysdale up to the first power play unit. I mean, he's grown 5 already to an 88. His hands there, they're basically perfect. His shot's super powerful. Like, Hamilton's good, but when you compare it to Drysdale, I can't believe our defensive top pair, 21 and 19 years old, and they're both with the chemistry over 90. So ridiculous. So if we win the cup ever, this would be the year to do it. And so we're out there this season here, guys, with a 52-27-3 record, so 107 points. You can see the Flyers there, though, at 114. I still like our chances. I really like to look at this team. Drysdale actually ended up as our leading scorer, 105 points. We did win the division, actually took out the Lightning by 1, and we were behind them by 10 at the deadline. So that's a sign of how good we were playing. Flyers 114, Looks like we finished 3rd in the league then. Avalanche 1 ahead of us. Draisaitl 105. I feel like Miller had to have 100 points because I'm pretty sure he was on pace for it or pretty close. Never mind. 94. Still a very good year for him. He'd definitely be bouncing back. Ovi still at 90. 45 and 45. Denisenko at 53 goals. This dude's a beast. Couturier 66. Same with Dahlin. Looking forward to how good him and Drysdale can be again. If we were doing like a full franchise, you're pretty much just good to go if that's like your top 2. Like you don't really need to do much more. I feel like you're just set. So the team overall, I think, played pretty well. Markstrom stats, 39 and 21, 3 shutouts. Grice actually had a bit better save percentage there and goals against, but less games played. Quick look at the AHL team. Really not much left here, really at all. We traded away, pretty much everybody good on the AHL team because it's the last year. But our team, like, even if we were to keep going, it's not like our team's old or anything. Like, our team's actually got a really solid young core. Kessel is 116 on the Flyers. Are you kidding me? Eichel 106. Same with Kane. So Draisaitl finished 4th in scoring. Sagan's got 58 goals, so I think he's going to take Maurice Richard from Denisenko. Line A 61, oh my. Denisenko was actually 3rd there in goals. Take a look at defenseman points. I wonder if Dahlin's any close. Okay, he's pretty close. Jones, Heiskanen, Carlson, Shabbat. So he's 6th. It's not too bad. We'll take a look at the standings next year. Like I said, I think we're 3rd in the league, but always curious to see kind of who got last and stuff. Philly's year, just incredible. I'm sure we'll play them in the playoffs, but maybe we'll finally get lucky. LA, Calgary, 20th and makes it in the playoffs. 82 points. They averaged a point per game. They really don't deserve to get in. That means you're averaging overtime loss a game. Vegas, 65, and they're in. Our team, not too bad. Central Division, we got 2nd place for making the playoffs, so I'll kind of keep an eye out for how the AHL team's doing. We've taken away pretty much all their players, so I'm surprised they've actually continued to play that well. So the first round here, we're actually be up against the Senators, so we'll go take a look at the line. Never mind, guys, I forgot we didn't win the conference. That was Philadelphia, so we're playing the Montreal Canadiens. The first wild card, not the second. We haven't played Montreal yet. Have no idea who's on their team. Obviously, with the fantasy draft, you never know. Crosby's down to a 90 already with the Ducks. I don't know about that one. Okay, so Montreal, Nylander, Barzal, Kane. That's a nasty first line. That rivals our first line. Honestly, they probably went 1, 2, 3, I'm guessing. Kane, Barzal, Nylander, Kadri, Domi, Byfield. That's a sick top 6. The bomb 6 definitely isn't as good. You got 4 guys in the 70s. They got Tyson Barrie and not much else on defense. Our top 4 crushes theirs. I mean, like I said, our defense is insane. Grubauer, 84, Husso. So our goalies are better. We're better in every way. Our offense, even their first line, ours is better with a 95 Draisaitl. So, I mean, we got 10 more wins for a reason. We'll see whether or not that matters in the playoffs. I really think this is a Stanley Cup bound team. First 2 games in Montreal. Let's go. Come on. Shutout. 31 win. Okay, we answered back. I was going to say, I don't know what happened there in the first game. 4-2 loss. Come on. 4-2 loss. All right, everything's on the line here. 3-1. We need to come back again. Our team is too good. I don't understand. I want to see, like I said, how we're better in every single way. I just want to see the game reaffirm what I just said. Like, yep, 5 better offense. Only 2 better defense. That doesn't seem right. 4 better goaltending. Literally, Barrie is equal to our 4th best defenseman. So I don't know how that one equals out. But, all right, we need to win this one at home. There we go. Okay. Okay, boys. Okay. Win one in Montreal. Please, please, please. Oh, my God. I don't know what this is. This game, the playoffs are so tough when you only have 3 years. I felt we could build a superstar team. That Dahlin trade I thought was going to push us over the edge. And we lose to Montreal in 6. I don't know how that team beats us. That's unfortunate. So I can't wait to see what this top comment's going to be, what the punishment is going to be. But I'm just so disappointed. Look at this, guys. The top 2 picks both traded. St. Louis jumps from 6-1 via Boston. Minnesota 4-2 via Edmonton. I called it out when Edmonton made that trade. I said last time they traded away a lottery pick. They do it again. As you can see there, the Calgary Flames actually are Stanley Cup champions. If they didn't play Montreal in the final, I'm going to be pissed because I don't know how we lost to Montreal. Over there, 5.6 games. Our AHL team also did not win the Calder Cup or anything. So after Montreal beat us, they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in 7, then they lost to Philly, who was a really good team in the conference finals. So at least they did have a run. And then Calgary there beat Philly in 5. I don't know. I'm sure I'll have to take a look at the Philly team. I'm sure we're better. Actually, I totally forgot to check like what happened with our AHL team. I'm just kind of curious, even though swept the first round, then we got knocked out in 6th there. So kind of typical. I guess we'll do AHL first. Cleveland Monsters actually win back-to-back Calder Cups. Individual awards, just kind of curious if we won any. Milwaukee cleaning up, it looks like. Lucas Raymond, what do you have? MVP the playoffs, good for him. So NHL here, team awards. Calgary won the Stanley Cup. Presidents went to Philadelphia. So they actually bought all the team awards. Kessel, Art Ross, and the Hart. Seth Jones, James Norris. Kessel also got Lady Binks. Stützle Calder, so they kept him out of the NHL for a year. Tatar Conn Smythe. Corby Salvaire got the Vezina. I actually thought about trading him first year instead of Grice. Blackwood, though, William Jennings, they split it. Zaboral, Bill Masterton, Bailey, Jack Adams, Dallas coach. Kopitar, Selke, Kessel, Ted Lindsay, and then Liney, then Maurice Richard. So Kessel cleaned up. No hardware for us there in the final year. Like I was saying, guys, I can't believe that. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, this team deserved more than they got, that's for sure. I might do a stream if you guys are interested, playing maybe, you know, 1 or 2 more years with this team, just because you got 95 Draisaitl, Dahlin's up to a 91, him and Draisaitl is a top pair, Miller's an 89, now Denisenko 88. I guess we do have to re-sign Ovechkin, Couturier, so we might be losing some guys. This is definitely the year for this team to win. We got absolutely rammed. Philadelphia, Scheifele, Ekman Larson, Kessel. I mean, I don't know. It's a good team, but our team's insane. Like, Hamilton's an 88 as our like 9th best guy or whatever. Unfortunate. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this last episode of Cup or Bust. For NHL 20, that is. I might bring it back for NHL 21, but I've also got another idea for a really cool series I want to get started, hopefully before NHL 21 comes out, actually. So stay tuned for that. If you guys did enjoy this one, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.